Hey guys, it's Calverse32 Special again. Appreciate you stopping by the channel. With all the talk that's been going on, on gun channels lately about everyday carry knives, or just knives in general, Gelsman's brought it up, I know a few others have. I decided to make a video on my everyday carry setup. I don't have my CCW yet, so I, unfortunately can't carry a sidearm, but I do carry a couple of knives, for different purposes. First, we'll start off with just a simple $10 Victorinox Swiss Army, a basic stainless steel, a knife, file, screwdriver, just another different screwdriver, bottle opener, toothpick, the like. I'm sure all of you are familiar with these. They've been around long enough. The only thing I wish I would have gotten differently when I bought these is I wish I would have gotten the scissors rather than the bottle opener. I'd never actually used this. Scissors would be useful. 10, 12 bucks, whatever, at most your hardware store counters. Pretty cheap, but still useful. Decently well made. Then my go-to beat the heck out of it knife is my Cold Steel Code 4 plain edge Tonto. Anything from opening boxes to cutting fiberglass insulation to field dressing an animal that I've hunted. I've used this knife for all kinds of things. Had it for a couple years now. Seems solid enough. This lock, I think they call it the tri-lock or whatever, but seems to be pretty good. I haven't had any issues with it. I chose this one because I was interested in getting a Tonto. This is my first and only Tonto. Most of the ones I was coming across had a synthetic handle, and I decided to go for a metal handle. This is actually just aluminum. Give it just something, what in my mind would be a little more, stability or sturdiness, since I tend to be hard on knives. So, a little bit pricey. So far, I haven't had anything to complain about. Last but not least is my multi-tool. I like Leatherman brand, although Gerber is got some good stuff. This is my second Leatherman, actually. It is a Surge. Basic pliers, screwdrivers, mini pry bar, I think they call one of them. Then your wire strippers inside the jaws. I had a Leatherman Wave for a while, and I broke several tools out of it. So I decided when I went to buy a new one that what at the time was advertised as, you're talking probably 2011-ish, was advertised as one of their heavy-duty models. They also had them listed as, they had the EOD version, which had stuff for bomb disposal in it. They also had ones that were made for working on ARs. Well, I'm not EOD. At the time, I didn't own an AR, so I didn't see a need to have those. I just went with this. Simple. I like simple blades in the outside. File and a saw and a pair of scissors. I like this style because the blades are accessible without having to open it. And having the tools on the outside also make this wall thickness, or not the thickness, but the folded over steel gives you a nice purchase for when you're really having to bear down on those pliers. It doesn't bite into your hand. My father has one of the original design style Leathermans, and I know it had a tendency of, when you really bear down on it, for it to bite in your hands because it was just a thin piece of metal. Like all Leathermans, at least all the ones I know of, this is a stainless steel. Forgot to mention the steel over here on the Cold Steel. This is I believe it's called XTS. It is a kind of an oddball. It's like a high it's somewhere between a high carbon stainless and a rust resistant tool steel. So it's not 100% rust resistant like it's, conventional. Sorry, not 100%. It's not as highly rust resistant as a true, a stainless steel blade. It's not as durable as a standard tool steel blade. It gives you a little bit of each. Have not broke it yet, so I can't complain. And I don't have any rust on it, which is good. Like I said, I tend to be hard on my knives. I have a Gerber, a folding that I carried for years before I got this. I've had this now 2-3 years. I bent the tip of my Gerber. Doing what, I have no idea. I just noticed one day it was bent. To straighten it out, I literally stabbed it into the trunk of a tree and just gave it a twist and straightened out the tip. Give you a slight idea what kind of stuff I do to my knives. Anyhow, if you have any questions about this, why I chose what I chose, suggestions as other ones to possibly look at, I'm all ears. Drop it in the comments. Before I go, I would like to mention, with all the changes in YouTube and what you can and can't post, I have activated accounts over on Gunstreamer as well as UGE Tube, and have started throwing up some of my content up there. Thus far, it's only been my older content. My newest stuff hasn't hit yet. But if you haven't checked out any of the alternatives to YouTube, I encourage you to do so. There, as mentioned, there is a UGE Tube, or YouTube as some of us recall it. There is Gunstreamer, as well as, if you haven't yet heard about it, you should have, because it's been talked about a lot, is Night Strike 1 over on Gun Channels has started up GunTube. GunTube.org, should I say. And they're, I don't think it's ready for prime time yet, so I haven't tried to upload my stuff. But as soon as I hear that he's ready for us, I will upload my stuff, because I do want to support him. Yeah, other than that, all I have to say is have a wonderful evening, and thank you for visiting the channel.